Today, we're talking to a group of 20 plus remote closers that have seen massive growth in their lives as well as their income by leveraging this one high value skill.
You know, sometimes when you're at the bottom, you're trying to look at people who makes a lot of money, like with a certain jealousy. And now it's like, I know I can do it.
This last month, I was just one sell shy of making 20K in commission.
What you're gonna be listening to is an entire hour of successful remote closers from one of our private client calls to show you what's possible in this industry, especially if you wanna start as a remote closer in 2024.
I took a big swing. I left my corporate 9 to 5. Hey, am I crazy to do this? Got a few people to agree with me and I just jumped. Now it's gonna start to pay off, so I'm pumped.
Coming to RCA has really changed the game for me. On average, I was only closing like 25%. And since joining RCA in 10 calls so far, I've closed 7.
All that coming up in today's episode of the Remote Closing Academy podcast.
What we usually do for our company meetings is it's just like a company wide meeting that we do. And basically the idea is like the first 30 minutes is we're just like, hey, how's everybody doing? Updates of the month, things like that. But the second half of the meeting is literally just like us as a team. And keep in mind, this is like 115 people on a Zoom call, literally like attacking each other with wins. Like it's to a point where we're not nice about it. It's like someone will give a win, and then before the person can even like finish talking, the next person comes in and there's like 7 people talking on top of each other. And this happens for 30 minutes straight. And it's just like, we're giving each other shout outs, making each other feel good, right? Like really creating this culture and community. And I was like, you know what? Let's like do that for the RCA community. I think there's enough people, at this point to be able to like create the same culture for everyone. So, obviously you'll see how it goes as we go along. But that's kind of the initial idea. And I think second is if there's a weekly call where we have 20, 30, 50 people on here that are just like going crazy with like, here's my win. This is what I've been able to do. I got placed in this job. I'm a setter here. I made this much this month. It just makes it seem so much more probable that you will be able to see success in this industry. So anyway, kind of a long story, but hopefully that makes sense.
Yeah. And at the end of the day, what we want to do is just like celebrate each other, because that's what we do internally. Like from the smallest to the biggest wins, it doesn't matter. A win is a win. And so that's what we really want to like cultivate here in our culture, but whether it's 30DC, RCA, Ascension, we want to cultivate that this is a winning group and that we want everyone to hit their goals. And so that way you can see what everyone else is doing. So we want to celebrate whether it is you just got started, you're just in the program, you're doing a few mock calls, all the way to your closing, setting tens of thousands of dollars in commissions. Like we just want to see everyone win and come away as a winner on today's call. So with that being said, let's go first.
Who's starting it off?
Oh, Vince, my God.
Let's go.
Let's go, dude.
How you guys doing? I was real excited for this call, but I guess the way I'll kick it off is my win is pretty much this year. If I think back to the beginning of the year, I was an accountant, chartered, felt real accomplished, made my parents proud, but I dreaded my existence, I swear. So, stumbled across a few coaching programs. Then Aaron was able to close me. And fast forward till now, man, I found the perfect offer. It was the only one I applied for. In real estate finance, got matched up really well. It was a perfect blend of sales plus my finance background, plus the business owner's vision is so big that as big as my vision is already, I could just fit in there. And man, I'm ending the year on a real strong note and I'm ready for a big 2024. So
let's go, man. Let's go. Man. Let's give like a round of applause for Vince, Sharon. Come on, let's go. Let's get the energy up. Ricky, what's going on, man? Let's share your win. Let's go.
I got too many wins, but I guess one of them is I've been on an offer since June, and prior to that, I got laid off from welding, but now I'm on an offer, and overall, I'm just loving the job, and actually working from home and doing what I'm doing. So I love it. That's my win.
Dude, that's awesome. From welder to remote. I'll take it. You just doing welding at home now, or you closing?
No,
what
no
you
more
doing?
welding. No, I'm saying right now, working my way up. Gonna start an Amazon business with the offer and be closing with them too. So that's another win.
Awesome. Let's go, man. Great work. All right. David, you're next.
Yeah, so I'm 99% sure I'm getting my first high ticket job today. I'm just waiting for the contracts. And in terms of so actually just in general, like since I joined RCA, I've seen a tremendous amount of progress in every aspect of my life, really. So
Yeah.
I'm super excited
Awesome.
to be here.
Awesome. What type of offer? Just the type of offer that you're getting on.
Marketing related.
Marketing. Nice. All right. You're going to help us with some leads here soon. I'll take it. Good
That's
work,
what it's
David.
all about, man.
Let's go. All right. Round of applause for David.
David. All
Let's
right.
go. All right. Oh, Julie wants to jump the line.
jumping in.
She was like, forget this hand raise. I want to go. Julie, you want to go since you got that much energy?
Sure. So, I started in late October, so I've been progressing, as I should quickly. And I'm in the pipeline now, so I'll be starting both self-sourcing and pipeline action.
Let's go.
Amazing.
Opportunities on the horizon.
I have a follow-up question for Julie. So Julie, what would you say to somebody that's like just jumping in, like this is their first like couple days or week within the program, like biggest tip for them?
Just like whatever your goals are, just work with your coach and stick with it. Just go with it. Mine was a fast track. So he said, okay, 25 calls by the time we talk in 10 days. So, it's just like do whatever your coach says. Know that you're going to succeed and just go with it. Go for it. Don't hesitate.
I love it.
Love it. Thank you for that.
I'm going to hire Julie as my motivational coach now.
There you go.
All right.
Right on. I'm in.
Hey, fair enough.
Who's
Awesome. Jacob, you want to go next, man?
Yeah, man. So I just want to like start out by, just thanking you guys for like the opportunity that you've given me with this. Like fast forward, like I joined RCA in like November of last year. I was working at Subway. I was like making $2,000 a month. I was stuck in this small hometown that like, it rains every day. I was just super, super depressed over there, man. And like, just throughout this year, like I made so many mental like breakthroughs. I just changed as a person, become more confident. I just feel better. And I've had 2 sales jobs and like this one most recently, I've made the most money I've ever made in my life. So it's just going really great. Really great. Really glad that I made this choice to stick with it. I didn't give up. So yeah.
What would you say is like the 1 or 2 things that like help shift you from like last year making subs to now where you're at right now? Like, what would you say is like the 1 or 2 things that you really harness that allow for you to be where you are now?
Just what if you can, what if you can do all the stuff you want to do, because like if you keep working at it and you just don't give up, you're going to make progress no matter what. So just like thinking, what if this is possible? It's just that just keeps you going. You just don't want to give up.
Love it, man.
Yeah.
Don't give up. It's one of the best things you could ever do.
Mm.
Awesome. Thank you, Jacob. Round of applause for Jacob. And then let's jump to Jimmy. Jimmy, just talked to you earlier, man. You can't get enough of me. What's up?
Not at all. You're my favorite, man.
All right. What you got?
So my biggest win is that I've been in closing for over a year. I've seen the biggest change in my life. From a little similar to Ricky, I was a welder too. I was in construction for over 10 years, and making that jump was scary. But once I started really putting my power into like what I really wanted, the biggest why I wanted to do it, and just figuring out the process of doing this, I fell in love with the process. Now from day one to now, I've seen the biggest difference. I seen when I first started, I was really scared to where I'm at right now, confident, feeling good. I could do what I could do because of y'all. So that was the biggest win for me. So I can't thank y'all enough.
Dude, that's a great win, man. I really appreciate that. And so the biggest change, you says, your confidence and your ability to really like show great presence on a call. What was that shift for you? Who coached you? What did that coaching look like?
Everybody played a part in it. I don't want to put like too much on each individual, but if I were to put it down, it would be one of mine. It'll be Ahmad. He really helped me through a personal development of, being present, figuring out like the demons and while I'm having these kind of fears and really facing my demons face forward and to really like pushing more than what I thought I could succeed. So having that extra push really put me into that development of I could do whatever I want to do.
Yeah, man.
That is so. I just want to just add one really quick thing. Thank you so much for sharing, by the way. And I think one thing I want like everyone to take away from this call and just like being in this program is like, as cliche as it sounds, like we're all like, you guys are all here for a reason. And if we didn't think you would be able to see success in something like this, like you wouldn't be here. Right? We want like the best of the best people and the ones that we know that we can genuinely help. Like we turn down a lot of people for this program because we just don't like, we genuinely to our heart and core, like don't believe that we can help those people. So I think just like everyone that's on this call, I want you to I want you to really be proud of yourselves for just like being in this program and doing the things that you need to do on a daily basis to like achieve what these wins are bringing you. So anyway, just a little thing to add. Who's next? Let's keep the energy going.
Jill's ready.
Ready to go. I got 2 setter offers this week. So ready to put all this coaching and training to work finally. So I'm going to choose the one that seems most likely to probably lead to a closer gig. So I'm excited because I took a big swing. I left my corporate 9-to-5 to focus on this full time for a few weeks. And now it's going to start to pay off. So I'm pumped.
There you go. What was like the deciding factor? Because I think that's a position that a lot of people are in is like, I'm in a job, like I'm making money. Like what was the deciding factor for you that gave you the confidence to make the jump?
I knew I was going to leave, whether it's now or later. And so if I left later, it was just going to take me longer to get through RCA. And I'm not about that slow track. I definitely wanted the fast track. So I just decided to bet on myself and really put the pressure on. And then that's what really motivated me. So that was my job every day. Like I just woke up and just crush the classes, mocks, everything, and just focus on it 100%. So I would say, I don't know what it was just like blind courage. Just like, I don't know. It was just like, I think I put a post in the RCA community. It was just like, hey, am I crazy to do this? Got a few people to agree with me and I just jumped.
I think we all have to be a little bit crazy for anything to really work out. So
sure.
Good call.
I love it. Well, round of applause for Jill for sharing. What a great share of just like, that was my background, corporate America, and having to make the leap into a high ticket space like 6 years ago was scary beyond all scary at the time. And then now I'm looking back going, that was the best decision I ever made in my life. So Jill, I'm rooting for you. Keep me posted. Keep coming back to these wins. I want to hear how those 2 offers go. All right.
Yeah. Thanks.
Absolutely. Johnny, you're next, man. By the way, I like the beard. Good beard.
Hey, yeah, same to you, brother. So I joined RCA a year ago, November last year, and I got sold like John. I forget John's last name. It starts with an H.
Hederick.
John Hederick.
He sold me, and I appreciate that so much. Like I was just one of those guys, uncertainty, and he just sold me and got into RCA, kind of struggled at first. And then I would have a breakthrough and it would click. And then got a job or got a opportunity, whatever, selling coaching, which I wanted to get. I love business. So I had started my own business and it was successful, and I kind of automated it because I realized I like selling more than I like running a business. Like I didn't think that was a thing, but I totally much rather sell than manage a bunch of guys. So anyway, start selling and it starts, get the script down, and it was totally RCA. Like now, like this last month, I was just one sell shy of making 20K in commission. I was like at 18,375. One more sell I would have got, 19. Anyway, 600 bucks.
One sale away. The key point, one sale away.
$625 away from making 20 grand. And I just didn't know like what was possible. And I'm a top producer. It's all RCA stuff, like just going through and doing it. And it's finally clicking. And so I just wanted to share that because I had no idea that I would be investing money in a course and then a year later I'd be making 20 grand a month. So that's my win.
Dude, that's epic. One question. What has helped like sustain you? Because I think, you know, a big thing that's like pushed out online everywhere is like, here's the easiest, quickest, guaranteed way to make $50,000 in 3 days, right? Like that's what everyone's talking about. So what helped you just sustain it for a year and get to the point where you're actually able to make that?
So getting a job and starting to make money, and just kind of being in the pack, like that was a huge win. Like it was sustainable. And then just getting better at it and seeing that I can make more, like it was up to me. It was my skills. Like right now I have the skills to sell for anybody. It's not like, oh, I got this one job. As long as I can stay here, I'm good. It's like, no, I feel wanted. Like anybody would be happy to, if they need a seller to, have me come on board and just sell more of what they're doing. Cause I'm just not floating around in the middle. Like there's a method and there's a system. And now that I understand that system, I can take that to any product or service to sell.
Love it. Thanks for sharing. Dallas, what you got?
Oh, you skipped Hector.
Oh, I can't. I just see the Dallas at the top. Well, ladies first. Let's just do that. Let's do Dallas and then Hector. Sorry.
Sorry, Hector. So I've been with the program over a year now. I'm on a really sweet offer. Just super grateful for the skills because not only do they help me in my jobs, they are helping me to build a business as well. So super fun.
Wait. All right, Hector. My bad, bro.
Yeah, no worries. I maybe I need to change the skin tone on this right here. But I want to share a little bit of when I joined last year. I brand new to sales essentially. Took me 2 months to ramp up into setter, and then I ended up landing in a great position as a setter for a while. And it was like proof of concept. Like everything that was being taught to us, it's like, oh, this actually fits. And it was just a little bit learning the ropes on the gig. So when I want to mention that just so you know, like, hey, I did get that return on investment like a couple months after coming in. So I think that's a great win for those who are more brand new. And now I took a little break, but came back trying to do closer stuff now. I'm like that close and getting a job, like doing interviews right now. But I think the biggest thing right now is I'm learning so much just from going to every single call. And there's a variety of calls that you can just get a bunch of help whenever you need it. So I know there's still skills I need to improve on. I'm just that close, but every single time I go to one of these calls, you're just getting that a little bit better. And I appreciate you guys hosting this call. I think it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, dude, Hector, I appreciate you hopping on. And so the biggest thing I'll say with that is it's not as important how big of steps you take as the consistency of steps. Is what Hector's getting at, right? And so I'll ask you, man, a question for you is when it comes to consistency of steps, what were some of the consistent things that you were doing besides obviously you said going to calls and learning from people, but what were some other consistent steps you took?
Waking up in the morning at the same time, going to bed at the same time, eating healthy, working out, booking mock calls with people, and not just showing up to the mock call hours, book your own calls. Get used to sending them a reminder before your mock call with them, hey, we're meeting up today, encouraging people, feedback, and go out to these calls as often as you can, and staying connected with as many coaches that you can, and just staying hungry. I think I'm more individual, but I think those are the things I'm really doing consistent, and just I'm happy to learn right now, and every single day is understanding the process more of how I can go out there in a business and be able to help that person who's really looking to change their life.
Hector, I'm glad you said that because we set up the program for a very specific reason. We set up the mock calls for you guys to engage with each other, because we find how you do mock calls is usually how you set yourself up for interviews, and how you set yourself up for interviews and interviewing is usually how you perform in a gig. And so for all of you, whether you're in the mock call stage, you're going to be on an offer, treat it as if you're already on the offer. So follow up with people, bring some urgency as if you are setting and closing this person for real, because this is the skill set in the early stages developing that's going to drastically prepare you for the end result and when you're on an offer. And so, Hector, I'm glad you said that, man, because it is true. The guys and gals that set up the mocks and bring urgency as if it's a real call and follow up and send texts are the ones that when they're on an offer already have that skill set developed and practiced. So thank you for sharing that, man.
Yeah. If I can add to that real quick, it reminds me of when I was in the Army. They say train like you fight. So like if you're gonna go fight in the jungle, guess what? You're training in the jungle environment. If it's the forest and the Rocky Mountains, that's where they're training. So treat each call definitely like you're saying here, like it's the real thing, and don't take it easy on your partner. You know, dude, help them out, but like don't feel take it easy on them.
Remind me not to go toe to toe with Hector, Aaron. All right, yeah. So we'll move to, is it Callie? Is that how you pronounce your name?
Close. It's Kaylee.
Kaylee. I thought it was Kaylee the moment I said Callie. All right. Anyways, Kaylee, thanks for hopping on. Feel free to share your win.
Yeah, I just started RCA this week, but it's already a big win for me because it's the biggest non-university investment that I've made in myself, and I can already tell it's going to be a big push out of my comfort zone, so very excited.
So glad to have you here. I'm just curious, what was the deciding factor for you? Like, man, I have to take this leap. What made you want to?
I think just the coaching call with Mel, she really made me feel inspired, and I had been looking for a remote closing with someone else, and I left the other sales call feeling like really scared and pressured to take their offer, and then I had the call with Mel, and she just made me feel like very seen and heard, and I was like, this is exactly how I want to learn to sell. So.
I love it.
There you go.
Aaron, were you gonna say something?
No. I mean, just I'm glad that, you know, because I think that's the nature of like how the market progresses is just more and more people will naturally have, you know, remote closing courses and things like that. But the thing that you said that stood out was like, you know, the way that we, or, you know, that Mel handled that call, it's like it was almost giving you like a peek behind the curtain of like what it would be like to learn how she's selling, right? And that's how you want to do that. So yeah, I'm just stoked that you're in, and good luck. And obviously if you have any questions or need help, we're here to help you out.
Yeah, Kaylee, honestly, I can't wait to see what your future beholds. So please keep coming back to these calls. Update us like with your first mock. Update us like once you get on and like going through the pipeline. Can't wait to see what those wins look like here.
Thank you. Will do.
Absolutely. All right, Isaiah, my guy, what's up?
What's going on? Man, lots of amazing wins being in RCA. But I think May 15th joined in. July 31st on my offer. Last month, first month I ever made 10K, which was sick. So just a huge win there. Another huge win has been meeting and networking with everybody, and going to the last Ascension event. So just growing my network, growing my income, tons of huge wins.
Yeah. And I'm curious, like what would you say is the biggest change and impact moment for you where you went from just getting started like in May, getting on an offer over the summer, and now becoming like a setter that brought in like 10K in commissions? Like, what were some of the biggest impact moments for you?
Biggest moment for me is like just loving what I sell. I mean, I've been in sales for like 5-6 years, and I've been driven by money the whole time. But whenever people are like, yeah, I love what I do, I love what I sell, I'm like, they're liars. They just like the money. But moving into this industry is man, I love what I sell. I love what I do. It's something I never thought I'd experience.
I love that. You know, the thing is, like, a lot of the times in this space, a lot of people talk about is, oh, you just have to go sell. And that's like the only way you can truly make money. But the thing is, like, you find things you're passionate about. So at the end of the day, when it goes to selling, you're selling something you love. You're selling something you're passionate about. And I know with you, with the with helping individuals with back problems and everything, like how did that impact you to find an offer like that?
Well, like initially I wasn't that interested in the offer, but my coach was like, dude, just it's kind of a good fit for you. And yeah, it was a perfect fit, and seeing how we impact people's lives, and people have been dealing with pain for over 20 years, and we can come in there and fix their problem in like 3 months. It's absolutely incredible. So, and like for me, I didn't even realize the amount of money I made last month until like 3 days before. And I was like, man, I wasn't even thinking about the money. That wasn't my motivation. So it's just been an incredible journey.
Love it. I love it. And so right now, everyone here has been talking predominantly about like since they started RCA and the journey and everything that looked like. What I'd love to hear is like who had to win this week, whether it's a closed deal, I've heard a few of you say got on some offers, but I'd love to hear like Wednesday, December 13th, like who had to win already for this week. And I see Pearl in the chat put me. I'm going to go to Blair first since you raised his hand, and then Pearl, just raise your hand. We'll get to you. Blair, what you got?
Yeah, so I've just got a few small wins. I recently joined RCA from 30-day closer, and that was last week, and I've just hit my 20th mock call. So really grateful to be in the community and enjoying it a lot so far.
Oh man, I got to know, how was your 20th compared to your first?
So much better. It's crazy. Like looking back at this one, it's the amount of progression is just crazy in that short amount of time. Like it's mad.
Awesome job, man. 20 mock calls in like in your week is incredible. Like good pace, man. Good work.
Thank you.
Awesome. Vince, what you got?
I think Pearl had her hand up. You're going to go to her, right?
I'll get to Pearl. I promise I'll take care of Pearl.
Got it. Okay, cool. Win for me this week. We brought on a sales coordinator, so I've been trusted with the responsibility of training her up. And it's great to see because the business owner listened to me. As you know, the concern for me was, I was doing a lot of admin work with all the sets I was, pushing through and just all the activity going on. So, I've really built the relationship up to this point where the business owner looks to me for kind of the next idea or so that's a good win. Also 9 sets on Monday. That was a good one.
Ooh.
So,
all right, just subtle flex with that. Okay. He's just like, yeah, the business owner takes me more seriously. By the way, like 9 sets, and then like goes on mute. Great work, man. Great. I remember when you were on one of my first Ascension calls, and you were only getting like 2 to 3 a day.
Yeah, and you know what? To get to that end of day report that you helped me structure, because I look to you for, hey, how can I tell the business owner that I'm crushing the offer? It's like, send this. So that just goes to the point of even beyond just performing, like sticking to a process and showing structure that your business owner can depend on builds trust in you and builds your brand too, right? So
yeah, I'm glad to see the amount of progress in like the past month or two with that. Like, excellent job, man. I can't wait to see more. All right, I'm gonna go to Pearl next because I did promise Pearl. So, Miss Pearl, what you got?
Hi, how are you guys?
Doing good.
Fantastic.
We're amazing. We're on a wins call. It can't get better in my day. How about you?
Yeah, I agree. I'm doing great. So I actually just joined RCA. I've only been here for 2.5 weeks. I was actually in a prior coaching academy, but like I'm super grateful for them and stuff. However, coming to RCA has really changed the game for me. So on average, I was only closing like 25% every month. And officially now, since joining RCA in like the short amount of time that I've been here, I've been in 10 calls so far. For my company, I've closed 7. I did 2 paid in fulls this week. So I'm up I went from being 25% to being a 70% closer.
Jeez. Aaron, can we get her an application for like internal? She's savage. 70%. Excellent job.
We'll get Virginia on the call.
I'm curious, but before we move on, Pearl, like what was the biggest shift? Because you said you came from a previous program that obviously sounds like taught you a little bit about the space.
Mm-hmm.
You came here. What was the biggest shift that like you would say helped you go from 25 to 70?
So if I'm going to be frankly honest here, I literally just mimicked all of Cole's scripts and kind of just turned them into mine. And his scripts, you guys, is like, they're all phenomenal. Like it's helped me gain so much traction and like led me more into like what I needed to know about my prospects and just, digging deeper and closing them.
Awesome work.
It's funny. I've told Cole this multiple times, even because I was a student in RCA. Well, I guess technically before RCA was a thing, when he was just doing the STA stuff. And I used to joke with him all the time. I was like, dude, I'm not even joking. I fall asleep to your voice every night. Like I would like have an AirPod in, listening to his sales calls and just like getting it ingrained into me. So like just to further what Pearl just said is like, if you just learn the scripts, like it's your tickets to success. And if you just learn that, not only will you see success in, you know, being a setter or a closer, but there's so much like underlying like just communication basics, really. And when you can understand that, it's like you'll never have to worry about where your next paycheck comes from. So
I love it. Well, Pearl, thank you so much for sharing. I want to hear some updates. Please keep coming back. I want to hear when you hit 75 and 80. Keep me posted on that. But great win. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, thank you. I'm so happy, especially because Q4 tends to be the slowest, and just being up at 70%, I'm still like, I can't believe this.
Yeah, that's a great point. And for anyone else that you know that's on an offer, I think, you know, use Pearl as your example of like, don't use Q4 as an excuse. Like it doesn't matter if it's like Christmas next week or whatever. It's like people still want to make money, or you know, whatever the offer is, lose weight, you know, fix relationships, whatever it is.
Yeah. It doesn't matter what time of year it is. People are always looking to change their life. And that's what we're doing here as setters and closers. It's showing the pathway of how you can change your life, whatever the offer might be. And so Pearl's a direct testament to, it doesn't matter what the season is, following the process, you can still show people how to make that change. So great work, Pearl. I'm going to come back to Samuel here. Good name, man. It's a great name. What you got?
Yeah, well, for me, I would say that it's quite a win. I have not done the mock call yet. I'm jumping into it real soon. I was setting out our stuff, but I dive into the videos and a lot of it. And actually, I enter in Facebook groups. I clean up my Facebook and a bunch of stuff. And there's a recruiter that started an interview. They were looking for setters. And I have a video interview actually in 2 days. So, and I'm like, and I'm saying, hey, actually I haven't completely I haven't do practice yet. I'm still learning, and I'm doing with RCA a 30 day program. And it's like, oh yeah, we have people from RCA working from us. You can do 10 grand a month doing a setter part-time, no problem. And I'm like, okay, yeah. And just to give a wins, and I want to share how grateful I am, because my story is that 10 years ago, I started to be very sick, and I haven't worked for 10 years, and I have not had any, I would say 2 years ago, I was just I'm going to live in the basement of my parents and I have no hopes of anything. That was my life. And my friends, they're getting older. They don't have funds on the side. They won't be able to keep. And I'm like, if I could do something. And now it's I know I can do it. I feel not only I'm getting the proper support to get skill for a job, but it's also how to do interview. I haven't done interview for me in age. I could do something I could feel that I'm passionate about. Because, sometimes when you're at the bottom, you're really, really low at the bottom. You kind of look at people who makes a lot of money, with a certain jealousy and oh, people cooperate, and you kind of judge them. And I did that before, sorry. But then you realize that, oh, they're human and they're helping other people. And I can do that too myself. So it's a shift of life, of hope. Not just for me, but for the people who see me rising, and they're and I share that, hey, you did check that, and whatever it's for them, but at least the story itself is inspiring. And so that's many wins that I have right now, but it's I don't feel that much stress. I feel yes, I have the proper support, the proper mentorship, and I decided to work along people who want to grow as well. So that's something I'm very, very excited. That's even something I said to the recruiters, like, yeah, man, like, it's like, we want someone who want to grow with our companies. I'm like, yeah, that's what I'm looking for. So that's the wins that I had.
Hey, thank you so much for sharing that. Like in your honesty with your sharing too, because at the end of the day, it's everyone here. Like we all know, we can only deal with the cards that are given to us and play with the cards that are given. And some people come from different backgrounds and they come from different areas. But the best thing that we can always do is take action with what's given. And for you to say, like, for 10 years, like, due to a lot of things, not being able to see light at the end of the tunnel, not sure where to go and in this area of fog, but you took action on something that you saw as, this is what it's going to take for me to get out of where I'm currently at. I just want to commend you, man. Like, that is a huge win, because that's a lot of trust. You're not just only putting into us, but you're putting into yourself. And I just want to, like, just give you a round of applause, man, for taking that action. Seriously.
Yeah, that's huge. And another thing I want others to take away from this too is, like, as you can tell, like, obviously we start, like Sam was talking about, is like, we started with, you know, we got placed in this offer and made this amount of money, but like, even in that, of just like mindset shifts or realizations or you know, breaking limiting beliefs, like, those are wins in and of itself. So, you know, just, you know, whether it's on this call or for future calls, as we're doing this every week, is like, think about that when you come with wins too, is like, just some of the smallest things could be also something that is, you know, someone else is struggling with, or, you know, trying to get past and things like that. So, dude, like Sam said, just Samuel, thank you for, you know, for sharing and being transparent.
I would just like just to add one small thing is, I'm the living example of consistency. Small thing that are consistent. It does not just help you to be more productive, but it also helps you when you're at the bottom last bit to rise. Because I remember when I was in the deepest depression and like really like brain fog, don't know what I'm gonna eat, but I know that I love to eat smoked salmon wraps. Like, it's my comfort food. And just the effort that's like, okay, I'm going to get up of my bed, go to the grocery store, get something I really is very yummy, and I'm going to get that, and I'm going to be proud of myself. Just that kept me up alive for a time. And knowing that, it's like, I know that whatever I'm on the path right now, it's going to work. So yeah, it does work. Like, small consistency, don't minimize that. It really does work.
It's so true, man. I thank you for sharing that. Seriously. And next time you make the smoked salmon wraps, send me an invite. I'd love to come by.
Yeah, sure.
Awesome, man.
There may be a lot of people around.
Yeah, you got to bring enough to share with the class, you know?
I will.
Awesome, man. Dude, seriously, thank you for sharing today. And I would love for you to keep coming back, because I want to see how the journey progresses with you, whether with this offer that you're currently entertaining or your next one.
Yeah, sure.
Awesome. Ricky, what you got?
Yes. So when I first started, I was just like looking for a job, right? I didn't even care what offer I would be on, but the offer that I'm on right now is actually Amazon FBA. So the thing is, I'm gonna be starting my Amazon business soon, and my win is on Sunday. I bought a cool, like, dope laptop to start my Amazon business. I'm already on another laptop right now, so I got new equipment. And I was just like, I never thought that, you know, like, actually starting an offer would open up so many opportunities, like, not just in sales, but in other business opportunities. So it's very, very exciting to me, and it's a big win.
I'm curious about that, Ricky. So what made you consider going more first the sales route versus starting your own business? Because it seems like, yeah, that opened up the avenue for you to start your own Amazon FBA. But I'm curious, what made you want to, like, do RCA first?
Yeah, so Amazon was never even a thing, like Amazon FBA. I've never heard of that. I actually got into RCA because I wanted to get good in sales and communicate with people. I always hear in business that you got, like, number one skill is actually sales, and I was never good at it. So I was always nervous talking to people, and so I just wanted help and guidance. So that's why I joined RCA.
Awesome, man. Awesome. So when you launching your Amazon business, I'm curious.
Very soon, by the end of the year.
All right. Send me your product. I'd like to see what it looks like. Awesome. Well, thank you for sharing, Ricky. And I don't want to butcher your name. Is it Adeleke?
Adeleke, don't worry about it. It's Adeleke.
I wasn't far. I wasn't far.
I wasn't far. Just call me Ade. Everyone calls me Ade. It works.
Ade. All right, man. We'll share your win.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I just finished up with the previous business I was on. I went on school. I was supposed to be on a different channel, and I saw this, and I said, "Oh, why not?" So I just thought it's a sign. May as well come in and say my piece. So I was on a different offer a month ago. It wasn't the right fit at all. It was like it was just a bad fit. Long story short, left the offer about 3 weeks ago. Something along those lines, 3 or 4 weeks ago. Didn't have a job for 2 weeks. Decided to like go on a bunch of interviews and all that. Well, I'll be so honest with you guys, I was down for like 3 days. Then I went on a bunch of interviews and just kept trying. Got a job, got into an interview by week 1, got a job by week 2. So week 3, which was last week, I done a bunch of mock calls with them. And I was supposed to start taking calls this week, which is week 4. But on week 3, Friday, one of their closers got sick. And so they offered us some of his calls. I took it. I got my first call was my first close. Wasn't a big close, but it was a close. Then
close is a close. Hey, don't. A close is a close in our books. Awesome. So
yeah.
Sorry, keep going. I want to hear more about it.
So and this is week 4. I butchered like this is either week 4, week 5, but you get the point. And Monday, Tuesday went not well, like no closes at all. And Wednesday, I just had now 2 closes. So yeah, that's kind of my situation. It's interesting. It's been very up and down. I think now I'm starting to understand the role of a closer, as in what it feels like, because obviously you think every day you're going to make closes, and it's not that, obviously, but you feel like you are. And I think I need to get that in my head, like how to mentally be fine with it. Like, not, there will be some days that closes don't come. And now I'm kind of trying to figure out, I can get closes, but how do I get better cash collected? Because that's how I get my commissions, is really through the cash collected. I'm trying to improve my cash collected. But it's good to have this problem than the problem I had like 4 weeks ago. So yeah, not that I'm not grateful or anything.
You know, a couple things on that. First off, thank you for sharing. Number one, you know, in anything online space, like you're going to go through what we call you're going to be going through what we call the emotional roller coaster. And so I'm just going to hit mute all real quick. So you go through what we call like an emotional roller coaster. You're going to have some really high highs, like for example, closes, and there's going to be some valleys. That's part of life. The best thing you could ever do is just keep that even keel emotional basis where you go, you know what? Whether it's super high or super low, I'm going to keep moving forward. The ride doesn't stop. Whether it's super high or super low, I keep going. And you're a great testament to that, Abe, because like you said a couple of weeks ago, you felt super down, but you went, you know what? I'm going to pick myself back up. I'm going to find that next thing. And then next thing you know, you just got your first close. Doesn't matter how small of a close it is, your first close, man. Like, I want to congratulate you on that. Now, to make sure we get the consistent closes, I'm going to keep encouraging you, go to the group calls, have your calls studied and reviewed, get eyes on it so that we can turn it from one close here and there to a close a day, couple closes a day. So that way you still keep leveling up yourself, man. So I'm looking forward to seeing you coming back to going from one close to one close a day.
Yeah, thank you so much. And if I can, I know this isn't like the best call for it, but what's your advice on just improving on cash collected rather than just closes as well?
Oh, there's so many things I can give feedback on with that. The number one thing is whenever they ask for payments, I'll say this, just say most of our clients pay for it up front.
Thank you.
So when they go, is there any payments? Most of our clients pay for it up front, and stay quiet. And then if some people will just piff it right there. Next stage is opening up the wallet. So make sure you go through the financial objection handling, because from there, if there isn't the opportunity for a pay in full, you want to come from a position of power by opening up the wallet and going through the details so you can create a solution for it.
Thank you.
Awesome. All right, Hector, we're back to you. I can still see your hand with the different skin tone.
Yeah, if you guys missed it, I was thinking maybe change it to red or something. But
Oh, you're good.
so I kind of have like 3 wins and 1 here. So I had an interview on Monday, which is great. I did well. I did get the position. So I asked the business owner, hey, what can I improve? And they told me, this is what they quoted here, is honestly, man, I thought you did great. You're very enthusiastic, great questions, went above and beyond before and after the interview. But with that, it at least shows me, hey, I'm putting in this work to get better in my interviews. So that's one step forward. Went to the prep interview call, right? Learned a lot of good stuff in there. So the next time I can just kill it even more and get that much closer to getting that position. And then yesterday, just kind of messing around. So I now have a other interview lined up for next week. So for a different business. So I guess that also brings up the fact, like, there's so much opportunity out there. I think, Aaron, I'll watch your YouTube. You're always saying that there's so much opportunities out there, and it's really true. Like, so don't let one interview get you down. Like, maybe it just wasn't the right thing, and there's always something around the corner. So that's what I'm excited about.
Absolutely. And I'm curious, what was that? You said you went to interview prep, you went to some of the coaching for like actually finding the gig. What would you say is like the number one takeaway from the interview prep that's really been helping you finding these next gigs?
Maybe I misspoke. I wouldn't say that the interview prep necessarily helped me find the next gig, but like it's now preparing me more. So now when I go into the interview next week, even if I've known beforehand, I'm just going to do that much better.
Yeah. So I should have clarified it. What was that one thing that's going to help you prepare more? So in that way, if you want to share with the rest of the group here, because there are a lot of others that are going through interviews too.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much that I could say from except for one thing, like, a bunch I could say, but I think the biggest thing that I learned this week from the interview prep was, I'm trying to find a spot in my notes here. It was really think about tying your experience from your previous role, if it was in sales or not, and show like, hey, this is what I was doing back then, and this is now what I'm doing now, so I can kill it on, like, do a great, amazing job in your business. So just having that like different focus in my answers, all of a sudden now I'm still working on like rewriting my answers and what I want to say, but I see there's a clear benefit to the business owner. Like, oh wow, if I say this is super clear on how I'm still going to stand out as a great prospect. So maybe I was missing stuff in my interview skills, and just trying to improve everywhere.
Excellent feedback, because most people just want to share what they did previously in other positions, but then it sets up the business owner to kind of figure out how is that going to translate over. So when you can remove that from the equation of showing how does my previous experience translate to how it's going to help in my next gig and working for you as the entrepreneur, that's where it removes that fog, and I can go, wow, I can see exactly how Hector, maybe whether sales or not, I can see exactly how Hector's going to help out my next business. So awesome feedback. Thank you for sharing, man, as always. Charlie, what you got?
Yo, first, just thank you, Sam and Aaron, for getting us all here. This has been a tremendous call. Really appreciate it. As far as wins, like for this week, first and foremost, being here on this call is a tremendous win. Like Aaron, you were saying how you listen to Cole all the time. I now have Cole's voice, and I used to drive Uber like crazy, and like I'd be at the airport, and at the waiting lot, there's like so much oxygen depth there that you'd like pass out, right? And I'd like pass out listening to like the RCA podcast and wake up like, 3 or 4 episodes deep. I'm like, all right, well, at least something got accomplished, right? So it's just cool to like be here now in this moment. And then I made tremendous breakthrough on my 1-minute video this week. It's been like pestering me for a while, trying to like whittle everything down. And then I learned how to raise my hand on Zoom during this call. So that was pretty cool. I'm really happy about that. And I've got a nice mug full of some warm raw milk with some maple syrup, and, and I've absorbed like an insane amount of interview prep and setter prep this week, just a grotesque amount. And I've got a huge chunk of the transcription down that I've been working on, just going through like all of Cole's training and using a pen and paper, just like writing every single document down, like taking it from the computer onto paper. So got my
dude. I'm gonna create a wins call just for Charlie, man. Dude, what a wins train! Awesome work, man. Like you brought the energy.
I had any. So I once the momentum built, you know, I was like, all right, no, things have been getting accomplished. So thank you.
Absolutely. You know, the smallest wins also help develop the mindset for always looking for wins. And that's like the key. That I teach this in Ascension, called looking for micro wins in your day. The best and top athletes and the top overall individuals we look to, whether in the athletic world, entrepreneurial world, when they were interviewed, they asked like for example, Michael Phelps, who was one of the top swimmers ever. They asked like, how do you always win? And he said, I'm winning even before I get in the swimming pool. I've already won the day even before I step in. Mike Tyson said the same thing. I already am the champion and already defeated the guy even before I step in the ring. And it's because they develop these micro wins throughout their day that they feel like a winner even before the competition. So Charlie, like, yeah, you're thinking like, oh, these are just small wins, a bunch of wins, but they're wins. And it's putting you in the right mindset to go crush what's coming next. So I appreciate you sharing them today, man.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Ricky, back to you.
Yes, third time. I always got wins. My win is in January. I'm going to LA Fitness Expo. And the thing is, it's on the weekend. So if I were to have my other career that I used to do welding, I would have to take a sick day. I wouldn't be able to work on the weekends because they're not open that day. So like you can work your own schedule, work out whenever you want, you know, work as much as you want to. You could call people and text them Monday through Friday, pretty much anytime, 8 a.m. to 9 p.m. their time zone. So your own schedule, that's the win.
Awesome. The LA Fitness Expo, it's pretty big. Are you competing there? Or are you just going to show up?
Yeah, I'm just going to go show up.
All right. Fair enough. I want to see you on stage. That'll be a good win.
One day.
Awesome. One day. We'll get bench and squat and deadlift all up. You know, I'll give you some coaching on it. Awesome work though, man. Seriously, thank you for sharing that too. Because it is important, because like you said this is allowed for you to have that freedom that you normally wouldn't have had with your previous career. So that's a huge win. So awesome work. Vince, let's go to you. We might have time for one or two more wins after Vince.
Yeah, I mean, a win. I hit the ice bath this morning, 3 minutes.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's been a game changer in my routine for sure. Oh man, in terms of it almost replaces my morning coffee, but you can't really replace the morning coffee in my opinion. But I mean, another one, man, just making it this far. I mean, if I think back 4 months ago, started off with 3 setters and I'm the only one left. Small team. So, and I can say the difference maker was just the attitude, the mindset, and that all came from really the structure that I learned in RCA and showing up to work every day. And yeah, so big win. Sure.
That's huge. And honestly, you're setting yourself more than the entire team was collectively. And so when you say that change happened, I want to know, like, because I gave you some coaching, RCA gave coaching, Ascension gave coaching to you, but what were some of the biggest things that made you like wake up to go from, like I said, like 3 sets to like 9-10 sets average now?
I think what really tipped it over was the structure. When we started building the structure in the day and building a routine and breaking it down to a science, and really focusing on the minutia of things, right? Because if you don't have a killer morning routine or whatever that means for anybody, it's really hard to have a killer day or have a killer conversation or be present in the call. And then just consistency, showing up to the calls, really being present with sometimes you want to hear a certain thing from a coach, but all they'll give you is what you need in that moment, because, you know, there's so much wisdom on the RCA team that if you just trust in that advice, like one piece of advice could mean your whole month's result. So really leaning on you guys to you know, advise us has been huge.
Absolutely. Aaron, no pressure for us, apparently, you know?
Yeah, I was gonna say.
What I will say with that is, especially with like everyone RCA Ascension, like even those you in 30DC with like Matthew, the biggest thing I always encourage is whenever you are looking for advice, the best advice is coming from a place of you first understanding what the problem is, because a coach can only effectively give you guidance based off of what you share with them. And so what I encourage everyone is for whenever you engage, whether in a group call, one-on-ones with your coach, whether it's in the community, when you come from a place of understanding your question and why you're asking that question and what's the resolution you're looking for, that's what's going to fine tune and tailor you. Like that's where you're going to make massive jumps like Vince did. Because like when I asked Vince on like some of our calls in Ascension, like what's holding you back? And he's like, my day's all over the place. Which I could have just given him coaching right then and there. But instead, I had him qualify it even more. And we were able to nitpick exactly what was holding him back and even broke it down to a science. And so this is what I'm going to encourage all of you is with your questions, make sure you dialed it in. And so what we're going to do right now is because both Aaron and I do have to hop like a minute early. Aaron, I know you wanted to share like some last minute remarks real quick before we end. And then Isaiah, Michael, feel free to share your wins either next week or also in the community.
Yeah. So super quick. So two things I wanted to mention. First things first, just something that I think it was Hector that mentioned about opportunity. I just want to like dial that in really quickly is there's just so many companies. Like this is over the next couple of years, this industry, we think it's big now. Like it's only going to get bigger. Like it's going to quadruple over the next couple of years. So just understand that like no matter where you are in your situation, like if you stick with this thing, like there will be companies that are going to beg to bring you onto their team. So just really want to dial that in. I talk about opportunity a lot. And then next week, we're going to do the same time, same place, 2 p.m. EST, right? 2 p.m. EST?
2 p.m. EST.
I always mess up my time zone. 2 p.m. EST. But we had a good amount of people on here. I want this to be like, I want 100 people to be on these calls and just us go crazy for an entire hour. So if you can, take like 20 seconds, go to the school group right now and post like, just got off the wins call. This is my biggest takeaway. You know, you're silly if you don't come to the next one. Like I just wanted to create this like such a culture that we just like are hyping each other up, sharing wins, like really just keeping each other motivated to like fucking crush it. You know what I mean? Excuse my language. So anyway, that's it, bro.
Awesome. So, and exactly just reflecting what Aaron said, just the more you pour in right now, just think about that wherever you are, whether you're just getting started, brand new, first day, first week, till you've been on an offer for a year, 2 years, etc. Keep pouring in. That's what we want for you. That's what you want for yourself. And so let's meet on the road together and keep moving forward of just keep pouring in. So then any of you just getting started can see a lot of the results that everyone else here is experiencing. But more importantly, like today is the next step closer to the future that you guys are looking for. So let's take that step together. Appreciate everyone on the call. Look forward to seeing all of you next week.